Welcome to Footy Fantasy Podcast. My name is EJ Anekwa, and I am filling for Ayo today. He's not invited because we are doing an all Arsenal fan cast podcast. With me, I have Onome. Please say hi to the camera.
Hi.
And I have Kareem Jones as well.
Hello.
Okay, today we're going to talk, like I said, we're going to talk about all things Arsenal. But first of all, I just wanted to get you guys' feelings. How do you guys feel about Arsenal this season? I think we've won 9 games in a row now. We're probably on track to win our 10th game. Probably going to beat Leicester on Monday, so that should be easy. Do you guys think that happy times have returned to our club? Like, are you guys excited about this season?
Well, I wasn't expecting much this season, to be honest. So I think this is a pleasant surprise. The first game against Manchester City was not that bad. I just felt it was expected. I would have been surprised if I actually won that game. So.
And you, Kareem?
Well, I am also in the same boat with Onome. I expecting much. So far, I'm still keeping my fingers crossed. I think after game 15, I would have a better evaluation of what the team is going to be. Where we are going to be finishing the season. The defense definitely needs some work. I also understand the fact that we do have quite a few new players. It's going to take them a while for them to gel together, and of course, a new tactic. The first 2 games against Chelsea and Man City, that's definitely going to be a challenge for a new coach. Of course, almost half the team is brand new as well. So I'm almost in boat with Onome as well. I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed, see what we do, and see where we end up. I'm not trying to get my hopes up high like most of the Arsenal fans. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I think for me, I was very pro Wenger. So when he left, I was like, I'm not getting attached to any new coach because they're going to turn over every 3 years. But so I'm still not attached yet. And, I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop. But I'm going to be optimistic and hope that he can pull something off this season at least. It would be magical if we could get something done in his first season, like the way we saw Conte do at Chelsea 2 years ago. So I think I'm cautiously optimistic. That's a word I like to use. All right. So we're going to jump into the actual questions. That was just a teaser. The first question is going to be Wenger ball versus Emery ball. And we're just going to talk about the differences you guys have noted between those 2 different managerial styles. Second question is going to be about Aaron Ramsey, one of our longest serving players. Actually, I think he is the longest serving player right now. And what do we think about, should we cut off our losses in January, ship him out, or do we, figure out a way to keep him past his expiration date? And the last question will be, it's kind of a response question to our last podcast. The Chelsea fans came, they really tore us apart. They said, there's no way Arsenal's doing anything more than Chelsea this season. What do you guys think? Is Arsenal going to have a better season than Chelsea? So we'll start with our first question. I'll pose that to Kareem. What do you think? Wenger ball versus Emery ball. What are the major differences you noted this season between the 2 styles?
I'd like to say, well, start doing Arsene Wenger. Wenger is, of course, a free-flowing, open type manager. He enjoys attacking football. That's always been his philosophy for a long time. And if you compare that to Unai Emery, he's very pragmatic. I mean, he's a coach that really he does his homework. He tailors his tactics to the opponents that's going to be that we actually going to be playing the next week or every week. So in terms of approach, there's not a lot of it. There's no difference between both coaches when you really compare the way they like to play. However, what Emery brings to the team is that he is more of a he knows when to be defensive minded compared to what the Wenger team of old typically do. Wenger ball, it's 4-0. They still go gung ho trying to score number 5, number 6, number 7. Then the opponent ends up just equalizing and getting 4-4, and now that's a tie game, right? So that's when you really, I think the major difference between the 2 coaches is more of the pragmatism, right? Emery is a very pragmatic, while Wenger is more, let's go score as many as we can and go have some kids kind of approach. So
okay. Onome, what do you say?
I've noticed a bit, like Karim said, there hasn't been a lot of difference. They're all passing managers, both like to pass the ball and free flowing. In addition to what Karim said, I noticed that we press a lot now, which I really, really like. We press the ball. And I don't think if you want to be a very good team, a top team, and you have to press the ball. Tottenham press, Liverpool, they are super pressers, and then Man City, they are the kings of pressing. We are not as good as in pressing as Man City or Liverpool now, but I think in time we could be as good as them. And if you notice, in the league, very few teams can play out of the back. Maybe Man City, Chelsea now. The rest they can't really play out of the back. So if you can take advantage of that and gain possession in the opponent's half, that's what Liverpool do, and that's how they score their goals. So one might be thinking that Liverpool is always very attack minded. No, they just press a lot and take advantage of lost balls. But Arsenal has started incorporating pressing now, so I really like that. That's the major difference. And again, playing from the back. Arsene Wenger plays from the back normally, but Emery is extreme. It's extreme. How he puts check under pressure on Mustafi, and they are so they are so not used to that style of football. So, but I think it's all with practice. I feel a full season under this system, it brings in more players, better players, and he knows his team better. I think we're gonna get better. So I think he has brought in the pressing. He has gotten more out of the players, and also he has I just say he has instilled more confidence in the players. Bellerin was lacking serious confidence. Welbeck was just a side squad player, nothing more. But now he's starting. He's getting to start Premier League games even. So I think he has done a lot, and I really like it. So hopefully he can continue.
Okay, yeah, these are
Yeah,
good points.
I guess I was gonna say, in addition to what Conor said, yeah, the pressing definitely is something that's different to Arsenal. A lot. I mean, like I said previously, it's more of a defensive approach. When you really think about it, when you press, it's a defensive strategy.
Yeah.
And that's what Arsene Wenger's team has always lacked in the past. They more of just go do what you feel like doing today, and
Yeah.
let's see who end up winning or not.
Yeah.
I'm very pro Wenger as well, but however, it's you have to be there are times where you have to be cautious and on try to read the game, and that's I don't know if that's one of Arsene Wenger's grave failures, is that he fails to be a tactician when he needs to be. Um, Now, in terms of the players, I really do think that um, Emery, in as much as he likes the pressing game, I really enjoy the pressing game. I just don't think we have the defenders to do that at this time. Um, it's going to be a work in progress. I just don't think we have the center halves to be able to do that. Mustafi right now, I just don't think is that comfortable on the ball to take the gamble with. Um, both our center halves, I just don't think are very comfortable doing that. And we all have our, I guess we feel like we're gonna have a heart attack if Shaka is in front of the ball, right in front of the box, right?
Mm.
So I think there's key pieces that Emery still needs to put in place. I mean, it's not a knock on his current system. It's just the fact that there are still holes in that, and that's probably what makes our defense a lot more culpable to conceding goals. Now, Arsene Wenger, like I said, I couldn't tell you what his defensive tactic was. I mean, I just couldn't tell you what it is. But anyway, yeah, I for the most part, I agree with what Onome said. So.
And I think I do also agree with you guys. I think the difference for me earlier, what you said, Kareem, is that Emery tailors his game to the opponent. So it's kind of like, it's not like Wenger. Wenger's philosophy was, okay, we play fluid football, we're possessing the ball and all of that. And he wanted to do it regardless of who he was coming up against. Very few times did he change his style. And he was very strong, stubborn about that. And that's well known. And he didn't. I don't think he watched film. Like I think I heard that he didn't really watch like opponents' films because he had his style and he was going to stick to it, which is admirable. But sometimes that just like it becomes old. Like he said, he coached us for how long? 20 years,
Yeah.
and at the end, last 10 years probably didn't really do much because people had figured him out. Emery, I can't identify a playing style. I really can't. All I know is that he likes the ball on the floor from the back, and he plays out from the back. And like you guys said, it's scary to watch because even when we played against Fulham, we kind of saw some things happening. Like it felt like they could easily just take the ball from one of them defenders and score against us. So I think now you said, Kareem, you said that you don't think we have the center halves to do what he wants us to do. Do you think that they can adapt to what he wants us to do, or do you think that there are other center halves that you have in mind that if we got, like, give us an idea of who do you think will do well in that system?
I mean, looking at the players we have, I think every defender is coachable, definitely.
Okay.
And speaking as a defender myself, I think every defender is coachable, right? Mustafi, can he learn that? Definitely, yes. However, I just don't think if we're expecting something from the team this year, or at least to finish top four, then that's going to take a while for what we have now to at least get used to that tactic. Now, in terms of who we can get, the guys who can actually do that work is either going to come from Real Madrid or Barcelona, the real top teams, and I just don't see them coming to Arsenal. Not at least not at this time. So as far as candidates, I think that's what Emery and Sven Mislintat, that's what they get paid to do.
That's
I
their
think
pay. That's what they're
they're gonna be
paid
able
for.
to, yeah. So they are gonna let us know who they've identified to be able to do what the manager wants. So
Okay.
If I can add to that, Holding is quite good playing out of the back. Mustafi, I don't think Mustafi is coachable. Actually, I don't think so. I don't. For playing out of the back, no way. I don't trust Mustafi. Socrates, maybe. He seems a bit more comfortable than Mustafi. But I think Odin, Rob Odin, is quite decent and he's having confidence. And also Harry Maguire from Leicester City. Yeah, Maguire is quite comfortable on the ball. So probably we might pay premium, like Karim said, but he's quite decent and he's just 25. So and he's English. So is also a good tackler of the ball. But sometimes I think you need a combination of both. You just can't have two passers of the ball and they can't actually defend. Actually, their first job is actually to defend. So I would really like a no-nonsense defender like Koulibaly pairing someone that can pass the ball.
Mhm.
If you think about it, Company really cannot pass as well as John Stones, but
Yes.
he's there. Otamendi cannot
So,
really pass, but he also is part of the City centre back defense line because they have to be there because their first job is to defend. So I think a combination of both will suit us quite well. So
okay.
that's my contribution to the question.
Good points. Good points. I think one more thing I wanted to add about Emery is that I mean I guess it's interesting that he's trying to find his first team. But I don't even see it that way. I feel like he's playing players. He does not respect anyone. Like as far as like placing anyone above another person. Ozil makes 300K a week. He may not start and he may get subbed after 50 minutes. Things like that. So I think that's admirable of him, and I
Yeah.
would say that's something that I would like to see keep going on. With that, I'll move into the next point.
have to understand and read the defense to understand how you make your movements, right? Sometimes you'd notice that Aubameyang comes into the center. He appears almost as a double striker with Lacazette. However, when you look at Ozil never start. He never sticks to the right. He comes every time Ozil is playing. He's supposed to be playing as a right winger. He's right behind both attackers, right? And Ramsey's also there too, right? But in terms of if that's our best formation, I'm not quite sure, because when Ozil and Ramsey seem to be next to each other, they either one of them they look confused, right? Ramsey likes to carry the ball, Ozil likes to carry the ball. So now you've got Xhaka, who's also trying to push forward a little bit. So that place looks a little congested, right? You can't have two playmakers at the same exact time, except in Manchester City, of course. Ramsey, the best skill set is his engine, right? And back to what Onome was saying earlier on. The reason why I think the manager Arsene Wenger has a lot to as some. I mean, he's not totally his fault. Of course, he does have a fault in it. Is when you look at the core of British teams, British youngsters that came around that time: Walcott, Chamberlain, Wilshere, Gibbs. None of them developed really.
Yeah.
So you can, if you look at the entire team, all the British core kids, none of them developed. Jenkinson, none of them actually really developed beyond what we acquired. I don't buy the idea that they are all overrated. Or I think look at Chamberlain right now. Look at the way he's playing under a proper coach.
I haven't seen him in a year, please.
Yeah, I mean, but I think for half the season he played at Liverpool, terrific.
It was the only good one, to be fair. It was the only good one.
But
I think we're having some memory loss. Chamberlain for some time was dropping passes in the middle of the field. I think we used to be scared. If you remember in 2015 when we went to Champions League. Oh my goodness! I was like, he's almost responsible for 3 goals against Monaco. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I saw him. He was very, what did he want from us? He wanted to play in the middle, right?
He wanted to play in the middle, yeah.
Yeah.
Which was his original position, right?
Right.
You also have to respect his age. I mean, how old is Chamberlain? 23?
25
now.
25 this year, yeah.
Yeah, 2015 was 21, 22. It's a mistake you'd expect from a kid like that, right? And really, when you think about it, he really didn't play much at Arsenal. When you think about it,
yeah.
So he never really got going to be consistent enough. So I mean, I think it's okay that Wenger takes half of the blame on how those players turned out. And of course, even look at Iwobi. Iwobi at some point, as and Wenger was, he came up as a real good player, and after a while, he started to tail off. Really wasn't pushing himself. That has something to do with the manager. The manager is. You can't blame all 6 players and say they're not talented. I think it's just the manager, definitely.
Okay. In the interest of time, I'll wrap. Oh, do you have one more?
Yeah. If I could conclude, I would say I agree. Probably half and half, the manager and the player. But to go back to the Ramsey issue, I think I also stand by my word. The 4-3-1-2 is our best formation. One thing you would notice is out of possession, how they shape up. Aubameyang goes to the left. If we lose the ball, Aubameyang is on the left. Ozil is in center. Whoever is on the right is on the right, and then Xhaka. So if we have 3 in the middle and Ozil ahead of them, Ramsey has the license to bump forward without losing cover in the defense or in the midfield. We still have Xhaka and Torreira, but he also provides presence in the box, and then the width can be provided with Bellerin and Nacho. But I think the manager would never play that. He'll just stick with 4-2-3-1, and that is why he's letting Ramsey go, because he is dispensable. I agree.
I agree. I think you just have to let Ramsey understand that he is not a number 10.
Yeah,
I think that's the key piece, right? Ramsey gets confused that he's a number 10, and he tries to play the ball with Ozil, and everybody gets lost. So
he's not a number 10. He's not a central midfielder. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He's a box-to-box midfielder, and he needs three people in the midfield. So probably people that don't have a 10, maybe like Manchester United, where they have Pogba and Matic, and then Ramsey can be there. He can run up and down. Unlock Pogba. probably after buying Ramsey, they will buy who next? Jorginho to unlock Pogba.
I mean, I'll say this. Look, I think for me, and you guys know that I'm a big Ramsey fan. I know all
Yeah,
of you
for
guys
Rams,
are
yeah,
joking.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, for
yeah, it's
Rams.
mother anyway.
But yeah, I think what I'm hearing, like for instance, last week against Fulham, what did we do? We played 4-4-2 last week or 2 weeks ago. We had two up front. It was Welbeck and we had what was the other guy?
Like I
Who did
said,
we start? Like I said, and
I
then
don't think so. I think
we
it was
had 4-4-2.
4-3-1.
It was four. It
It
was
look it looks like 4-4-2, but it was 4-3. Emery will never play 4-4-2. He will
look.
stick to that
I
structure.
I saw it myself. I questioned it. Like I questioned it because they told like the newscasters were saying it was 4-4-2. I was like, why is he playing? He will never do this. I've not seen them do this. And next thing I see the lineup. The lineup to me looked like 4-4-2. I'll ask you to look at it again. Um, but that what I noticed was that front three, including the Adiwobi, they were very mobile, very mobile.
It's
I think
done.
yeah, he's another young one. I think he's just 22. He doesn't
22,
look-
yeah.
23, yeah. So,
Yeah.
but anyway,
Okay. Well, we've had really good conversation.
Yeah.
So I thank you both for joining me today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our little podcast session.
Yeah, it
And
was fun.
good.
Yeah.
So we'll get to hang out next time. Go Arsenal. See them on Monday.
yeah.
Yeah.